Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter Wilds, where today we're going to do quests. That's the thing we're doing. As with before, we're going to be doing a private lobby just so that any newcomers have a chance to get in, whereas if we did a squad lobby, only squad people could get in. You can receive notifications while offline. Interesting. Anyway. There we go. Getting the lobby ID pasted on into chat. I say pasted, but I'm typing it manually on a different computer. Hey, Wolfkinson. All right, lobby ID is in chat and pinned. So, things that have happened since the last stream. I have gotten a weapon of every element to Rare 8. Got the Archveld Swax. Got the Hirabami Swax. Got the Shewu Swax. Of course, got my Rathalos one. And I got an Artian Thunder weapon. It's not fully upgraded yet, but it's getting there. Also, that plus 30 sharpness boost is a huge help. Hey there, Outlander. And hey, doing the quest that introduces tempered monsters. That's some decent progress. Keep doing more tempered monsters, and in no time you will be at the point where you get to do harder tempered monsters. And then do those, and you'll be at the point where you get to do the apexes and do those. And then you'll be at the point where you get to actually join in the real quests. So, as far as Artian stuff per effort, this quest right here is pretty dang good. 9 red Artian parts for, sure, it's got a tempered new Udra, but that tempered Rompapolo is absolutely going to bring down the overall quest difficulty because it's a 2-monster quest, so the new Udra is not going to have as much HP as it would if it was on its own. I mean, compared to this, which is a tougher new Udra for fewer parts. I got some quests that give tons of decos. Finally found one with an Archveld that gives a guaranteed gem. Interestingly, these two Archvelds give basically the same rewards, just one swaps the weapon decos for armor decos. Hey, Spasso, it's going good. I think we're going to open up with this here tempered Archveld. That sounds like a good plan.
careful out there.
And I clearly need a food buff. And since this is Arkveld, let's go for defense and resistance. And defender high because he's tempered. And drizzle some honey on there. Also, I feel like we need to congratulate Monster Hunter Wilds for reaching freaking 8 million sales in 3 days. Fastest selling Capcom game of all time. Which is impressive. Also, hello Zenzara. Let me go ahead and actually get you invited to a link party so that joining quests will be easier. As well as, I'll do a squad invite later because I realize I've got the wrong squad active. I can change that, can't I? I keep on forgetting where squad stuff lives. Oh, there it is. And can't do it right now. Whatever. $9.4 million now, huh? That is a lot. And yeah, Wolfkinson, I too am glad that it sold well. I love that people seem to be into the fact that they're making their ecosystems more vibrant, more lively.
I'll just hop off for now.
A tempered monster.
Oh, this is... I forgot to change my weapon. My Arkveld weapon would be best against this guy, but my Rathalos weapon should be fine. Right, I was just sitting there waiting like, oh, my cat's gonna fix my Dragon Blade at some point. No, he's not. He's not here because this is a 3-player quest. Nice knockdown. Assume that was a power clash. And that was an offset. Love offsets. So good. Nice flinch. You didn't stay pinned for very long, did you? So I've just remembered something that I learned yesterday, that it doesn't show anywhere on screen as far as I can tell. There is a shortcut to instantly put on a mantle, like without needing to select it or use the radial menu or anything like that. If you're on controller, if you're holding L2 or L1 to get into the items mode and press R2, it just puts on your mantle. Which, hey, that's useful. Also, I really should have sharpened on the way here. I was too busy being distracted by thoughts about mantles and hotkeys. Nice knockdown. I feel like my mantle should have healed me, but... Is it dead and I didn't notice? I guess my mantle died at some point without my noticing. Oh yeah, it's got the X on it. Yet another not very long pin. Yeah, Outlander, you can push down on the D-pad to cancel Sacred Auto Movement, and in fact, you can mount the Sacred with... Who used that? That thing has a cooldown, you know. that lasts between quests. But yeah, if you mount the secret with down on the D-pad instead of up on the D-pad, it gets mounted in manual mode instead of auto mode. Nice arm break. Nice other arm break. And that's all the breaks. Right. I know for a fact that I don't have Carver right now because I used my own meal, which means there's nothing stopping us from capturing this Arkveld. Other than maybe this Gravios. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Okay. He looks smallish, but maybe that's because Arkveld looks biggish. Yep, that is a silver large Arkveld. Now it makes sense. And that is a cleared quest. Also, nice gem.
Nicely done, Hunter. Glad you're in one piece.
Oh boy, I got mostly tubes. I don't use tubes. Ooh, Blaze Quick Switch. That is nice. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that Blaze Quick Switch needs to go straight into this armor set that I'm wearing right now.
Smart.
That's got Blaze Crit Element right now. But the set doesn't really have enough crit in it to really take advantage of that. So yeah, let's grab this Blaze Quick Switch. Okay, both are weak to water. And I mean, New Udra. I love New Udra. It is mandatory that New Udra be the most hunted monster on my streams. That's just how it's going to be. So we'll go ahead and do this quest with New Udra being the primary target. So octopus first. And yet, so tempered monsters didn't have increased health in World. They did have increased damage, and in this game, the same is true. At least, damage-wise. Health-wise, I don't know. But I can definitely say that the high-tier tempered monsters hit hard.
Anything catch your eye? Hello.
I'm also in a fairly endgamey set. Still room for upgrades, though. Like, hey, I can get 2 more defense right now. Oh, snap, I can get 4 more defense right now.
Ready to get to work?
Oh, that was actually 6 defense. Wow.
To a T.
What a buff. 6 defense. Unfortunately, since this is a multi-monster quest, our chances of getting all 6 new Udra tentacles is dramatically reduced.
Commencing quest now. Are you prepared? They've issued us supplies. Let's put them to use.
I did hear an Arkveld yelling.
A tempered monster. Look at the size of that scar.
What is New Udra doing up high instead of down low? This is weird. Mr. Octopus, you are in the wrong place. Another reason for us to do New Udra, besides the fact that I just freaking love this monster, is the fact that a New Udra gem is the single biggest thing separating me from an upgrade. And you know what? I want an upgrade. Nice arm sever. Wow, I was nowhere near that, but okay. Like, I don't even think I took damage from the pin attack. Alright. Got another arm. Okay, I guess he's taking me with him. That's what you get, buddy. This is why you do not take people who are trying to sever your arms with you, using your arms. Yeah, I'll take the heavy blunt pod. I like heavy blunt pod. Getting a KO is always welcome. Apparently the between quests cooldown only matters if you're doing actual field surveys. Just one arm left. Middle left. Hey, we did get all the arms. Now let's see if we can get the face. So my least favorite newcomer is probably Doshaguma. And it's not bad. It's just, there's nothing super exciting about it. It's a perfectly serviceable monster for when it appears. It's just, yeah, there's nothing super exciting about it. There are no newcomers that I dislike. And that's good. Whoops. Overcorrected. No face break, but oh well. A nicely handled octopus.
Looks like the monster dropped something.
I just realized I don't have any... Well, I guess I do have a camp in the middle strata. Never mind. Oh, something just occurred to me. I think I'm still in high-res texture mode. But you know what? As long as I don't start dropping frames, it's actually fine, and it means that everyone gets a better experience, not just me. Because the high-res textures are really, really nice in this game. Way better than the not high-res textures, that's for sure. And that's all the brakes on this fella. Yeah, Outlander, they absolutely have to figure out their texture streaming issues. So clearly that's a different Rompapolo having a turf war with that Rathalos. It's amazing that the presence of this here Brute Wyvern basically doubles our quest rewards, despite being pretty much a nothing monster in terms of adding difficulty to the quest.
This thing's a trove of new data.
And of course I get no new Udra gem. But that's okay. There's plenty of time. I don't need my upgrades today. Ooh, Tenderizer 3. But that's the armor jewel, so it should only give 1 point. It's only weapon decos that give a bunch of points for 1 slot. I know, Outlander, it is so sad that I have to hunt my favorite monster in this game again. Possibly my favorite monster of all time again. Like, seriously, New Udra's up there. Really up there. Aesthetically, I think I still prefer Ivory Laggy. But in terms of actually hunting it, I think New Udra might be it. Actually, no, in terms of enjoying the hunt, that still goes to Iceborne Alatreon. But, like, for not being a title update, super bonus ultra endgame monster, New Udra is phenomenal. Love it. Also, login bonus time. Today we get life powders and flash pods.
Right.
Yeah, Outlander Agitator's great. And yeah, it seems like the offensive meta is basically centralizing around Agitator, Burst, and Coalescence. Time for many decos, the quest. Because who doesn't like questing for many decos? Gonna go for the Ray Dow first, because clearly the frog is the biggest threat. It's got 4 stars on it. So, we leave the frog for second, so we can devote our full attention to the more dangerous monster. Which, again, is the frog, because it's got 4 stars.
Safety first, right?
So, there's an issue that I have with this game's recommended elemental attack listing. And it's that, as far as I can tell, it always lists them in the same order. And there's no in-game indication as to which might be better. Because it'll always list them, like, in the order in which they appear in this list. Fire, water, ice, thunder, dragon. So, like, here we've got ice and thunder. Here we've got fire and ice. Fire and thunder. They always are listed in that order. And there's no indication of, like, oh, which one is better? Because, like, against Rathalos, who has thunder and dragon listed, traditionally, dragon has been better than thunder. But they're listed in the order of thunder dragon because that's just the order that the elements are listed in. Oh, press triangle here. Ah, I see. So yeah, here it says thunder then dragon, but look, dragon is so much better than thunder. It's 2 stars on almost everything, whereas thunder is 2 stars on only the head. Thank you for pointing that out. That is useful information. So for Ray Dow, he does not want to be hit with ice. And water, as far as this is listed, is equal to dragon and fire. So the question then is, why is water a recommended element instead of just ice? And the frog is weak to thunder, but ice is next best. So I believe it's time to grab my ice weapon, which I think is in my... Yeah, it's on my bird. Good. I am going to restock my items real quick. Especially as far as caring about the meta goes, like, I keep up with it, but I don't chase it. I play the game to have fun. And if I can make a set that feels good to use, I mean, sure, that's fun. But it's not going to be my priority. I had a huge stutter there. Yes, Ray Dow first, so that once it's done, we can devote our attention to the real threat in this quest. Also, remember that when picking selecting the quest or joining it or whatever, you can in fact change which base camp you start at, and I've set base camps at what I believe to be all of the best spots. Like, sure, they aren't necessarily the closest to where monsters start all the time, but I've only put insecure camps in useful locations. So, like, all the camps that are at risk of being destroyed by monsters are in places where they're useful enough that it's worth the risk. And I don't think I've done any in dangerous places. I think I've only done insecure. So yeah, I've got a bunch of decent camps set, and make use of them. They're there for actual usefulness reasons.
Make room for me too. I'll leave the door you in case you need it.
Okay, getting the occasional frame drop here. Might need to turn off fancy schmancy textures, but we'll see. I mean, if it's still mostly very watchable on stream, then I guess I don't really have a reason to change it, as long as I'm not dropping too much. If we don't end up in slideshow mode, I think I'm willing to live with it. Because the high-res texture pack does look really nice.
Watch out!
No, no, no. Or, yes? Yes.
Terrain. Time to go on the offensive. To a new area.
I love when I... Oh, she's waving goodbye to it. That's cute. I love when you try and pull one of those down, and for a moment you think, wait, no, that's not going to hit, but then it does. Oh, hey, folks, you realize you're going towards a Ray Dow, right?
Looking weak. Almost there.
Yeah, Outlander. Yes, it probably was Alma hailing to say, hey, the tail is here. But she was looking in the direction he was going, not in the direction his tail was. And just doing a wave. She was waving goodbye to the Ray Dow. It was cute. So yeah, I am absolutely going for all achievements, though it's not a short-term goal. It's one of those like, yes, I'm trying to get them. No, I am not trying to rush them down. Like, I'm not going to be specifically crown farming for a while yet. Specific crown farming comes after I've made all of the armor, which I want to do because making all of the armor makes all of the layered armor. Though, incidentally, when it comes to making all of the armor in order to make all the layered armor, you actually only need to make either the alpha or beta versions of most pieces, because the beta versions are almost all just recolors, which don't get added to your layered stockpile. Like, making the beta version of a piece unlocks the alpha version as layered. So if you're making armor exclusively for the purposes of getting the layered, you only got to make one set per. And that is a fully broken Raidou. And actually, hopefully it doesn't die just... Nope, never mind. I just remembered that Raidou is the only monster that I have yet to capture. But I can live with keeping that for later. Now to go deal with the real threat of this quest. Oh no, it's so close to base camp. That shows what a big threat it is. Look at this dingus sitting right under the rocks, staring up at them. Like, huh, I hope those don't fall down on my head. We were lucky to survive that.
That one.
Nicely done. Glad you're in peace.
So as far as Monster Hunter games that I've 100%ed, I've gotten all the achievements in Iceborne and in Sunbreak, as well as in World on PS4, Iceborne on PC. But yeah, nice bolt gem. I like Monster Hunter games. Ooh. Ice attack and razor sharp. Well, actually, that's less useful because I've got one that's the other way around with 3 points of razor sharp and 1 point of ice attack, which is probably better than 3 points of ice attack and 1 point of razor sharp. Hello, attack jewel 3. Hello, crit element jewel 3. Hello, latent power jewel. Apparently, latent power is a pretty useful skill in this game. Hello, power prolonger. Ooh, got another burst deco. Love to see that. this 3-point water attack jewel would be better if it had a useful secondary skill. Hey look, Horn Maestro and Slugger. I know a certain weapon type that would appreciate that jewel. And before I post another quest, I'm just gonna look and see if there's anything interesting in any of the locales. There is a Shaywu with a guaranteed gem, but I've already got one of those, and I also already have more than enough Shaywu gems. And thus, do I not care?
Yes.
Hey there, guard. I'm sorry for stealing your hunting horn, Deco. Oh, right. This quest had a guaranteed Raid Owl Bolt gem. No wonder I got a Raid Owl Bolt gem. This quest gives even more decos, which I guess makes sense because instead of a Raidao and a Chattacabra, it's a freaking Guardian Doshaguma and an Arkveld. So that's one to keep in the back pocket. Still a little too close to the last Arkveld we did. How many investigations are we allowed to have at once? It's clearly more than 33. I would imagine it's like 50. Here's a quest that's got a decent amount of decos and also is against a monster that we don't see enough of. Oops, I am not starting at a useful camp. Because even I forget sometimes. Okay, 50 is indeed the investigation limit. That makes sense. Now let me just grab this here axe. Feels bad to have a level 2 deco in a level 3 slot on a weapon specifically, because level 3 slots on weapons can be worth 4 points instead of just 2. But unless I've got a quick switch 3 thing, which I don't, then this is pretty much what I'm stuck with. What I really want, like my dream decos, are quick switch 3 handicraft, enhancer 3 handicraft, and then all of the element 3 handicrafts. Those would be my dream decos. Also Razor Sharp 3 with handicraft would be pretty neat, but if I'm getting all the handicraft, Razor Sharp isn't as useful. But then again, Razor Sharp is still pretty dang good. The point is, I want some handicraft because Artian weapons basically need it in order to not feel terrible. Oop. Ah, changing your starting zone, I would guess.
Order of the Guild.
Yeah, Outlander, Razor Sharp 3 becomes more useful than Handicraft 3 if you have 40 hits of White Sharp at the end of whatever skill you've got going on. Because at 40 hits of White Sharp, like prior to Razor Sharp, but after Handicraft, that is, if you've got 40 units of White Sharp, then Razor Sharp turns that into effectively 80 units. Whereas you would need Handicraft 4 to turn 40 units of White Sharp into 80 units. Thunder Element files look pretty. Kind of surprised with how much of this thing's veil we've gotten rid of. It hasn't counted to actually make it get naked yet. There we go. Nice tail break. So left hand is the only break we have left. Ho, 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 ho. And now we've got all the breaks. So, when I'm doing my zero sum, or not my zero sum, my regular burst, I can pivot using focus mode, but only if I use the right stick, which really bugs me. Because I'm rooted in place while I'm doing it. There is zero input on the left stick other than straight backwards that will change anything. Straight backwards does let me explode early. But that's it. Whereas, like, I can't use the left stick to pivot my focus cam. Or my focus mode, rather. While I am doing anything with this weapon, actually. And that means that if I want to pivot while doing an element discharge, I basically need to either manage to swap to a claw grip while mashing the triangle button, or else I need to grow an extra thumb. It's the one control issue I have with switch axe in this game, is you basically need an extra thumb in order to pivot while doing an element discharge. There's a gastronome tuna here, but I don't think 30 seconds is enough to grab it. Yeah, Outlander Uthduna does feel less apexy than the others, but you also have to remember that Uthduna's like the 5th monster you hunt in the game, so it can't be that hard. And attack jewel 2. Horn Maestro and attack boost. I know a weapon that likes that more than mine does. Razor Sharp 2 is not the best, but also not the worst. Silver Large. Uh-oh, a settlement is having monster trouble. They're having trouble with a tempered Chatacabra. So I'm going to save that as an investigation because the temporary gathering boost investigations, when done, still give that temporary gathering boost. But also, let's do it right now. I know we just did a Chatacabra in the previous quest before Uthduna, but this one gives a temporary gathering boost.
Commencing quest now. Are you prepared?
Yeah, Outlander, Jindahad is a Leviathan cosplaying as an Elder Dragon. He's the closest thing this game has to a repeatable Elder Dragon. So they have to let him be big and special. I love when he plays Bridge Troll. Okay, we're gonna have to do 2 bird wyverns today so that I can finish my weekly bounties.
So long for now.
Right, the quest is already started.
I'll see you back at camp.
Yeah, when you see Jindahad mentioned on the map, but there's no Jindahad investigation to do, that means that he's playing Bridge Troll, waiting for someone to show up on a bridge so that he can ice breath him a bunch of times. I don't think that was me who woke him up, but oh well. Can't wait for the inevitable most hunted monster of the game quest that comes out right as this game is winding down before its expansion, and it's gonna be a Chatacabra because of course it is. the greatest Chatacabra, I can't see as being much of a threat no matter what they do to it. Because unlike Great Jagras, it doesn't have any, like, big roll moves that hit a huge area. I really wish monsters would stop rolling away from me after that. Can't do a full unleash when they roll away. And boy, do I love me a full unleash. What a difficult quest. I wonder if we can kill this Chatacabra within the 60 seconds. Probably not worth it because carves still exist. And I'm the only one who gets to stick around after this quest is done because no one's in my environment link. There we go, got my 3 carves. Whoa, that was a huge stutter when he knocked that down.
Well done, Hunter. Now let's continue our investigation.
Yeah, no worries, Wolfkinson. Me not getting the wake up, oh no, that probably added 5 whole seconds to the quest. Which me trying to get the wake up after failing would have added about the same amount of time. Oh hey, Suja wants to give me a free meal, and who am I to say no? And of course, I have to say hello to Dr. Ham. Aw, thanks for the Armor Sphere Plus, buddy.
Welcome. Let us eat.
And Spasoya, as far as Diablo's missing games, I mean, it missed base Monster Hunter 4 and it missed base Monster Hunter Generations. So, at this point, I will only be surprised if Diablos doesn't show up in the expansion this game eventually gets. Because, like, we do have a desert where Diablos could absolutely show up. Ooh, a tempered Jindahad. I've never done one of those. So I'm going to save that as an investigation. But then I'm going to go begin a field survey for that because that doesn't use my investigation. Outlander, don't lie. Guardian Bloodbath Diablos would be pretty cool.
They've issued us supplies. Let's put them to use.
Have a nice hunt. Time for a few quick reps.
I really need to get into the habit of doing sneak attacks on things instead of doing a jump attack to open every combat. I love the fact that you can do an offset on this enormous thing. Like, this thing's almost as big as Lao, but we're allowed to do an offset attack on it. Just imagine if Zora Magdaros was in this game and we got to offset that. I know I said that one day we would do the Hirabami as well as the Jindahad in this quest, you know, just hunt every monster who is in the quest. But that day is not today. That day is for when we have 4 players. Today, the Hirabami are just here to annoy the Leviathan. Oh, I am sure Dual Blades absolutely love getting to do focus strikes on Jindahad. I didn't even consider that until literally just now seeing that happen. I would imagine that this is a Dual Blade wielder's favorite monster in the game. But only because Dalamadur isn't here. Imagine doing the dual blade focus strike on Dalamadur. I guess the Hirabami don't stick around for very long. It might not be so easy to actually kill them. Yeah, Spasoya, I agree. I hope that Zora never reappears. Except in, like, maybe some anniversary celebration type title. But even then, like, I'd be totally fine with it not reappearing. I just think the idea of doing an offset attack on something as big as Zora Magdaros would be hilarious. Considering we can do it on something as big as Jin Dahad, which is already kind of stretching it. Big boy wants up on his ledge. Whoops. Turns out when you pull that ledge down onto yourself, you don't have the best of times. Zanzara, you okay over there? Rip. If you can't see any of the things to hide behind, you can pull them down. They're the ice crystals up there. And while they are nice to use for damage, they're better used for keeping you from carting. Yeah, Outlander, considering we've already got Jin Dahad as a giant monster, I don't even know what they're gonna do for the community siege type things. But I do know that we're gonna have a hunting hub or hunter's hub to actually do them from. Starting in Title Update 1 in April. Terrible place to dismount to. So, the fact that this Jin Dahad is tempered. Tempered monsters are all monsters that have participated in many, many battles. So that implies that this Jin Dahad has had enough things try to challenge it that it's gotten a bunch of scars and learned the ins and outs of combat. Does that mean that this is a Jin Dahad who has played Bridge Troll a few times too many? I think so. Game, I want it to be on his hand, not his face. So it looks like we've got his whole left side broken, but his right side is completely unbroken. I like how his big explodey attacks like that actually leave the ground icy where they happen. And that's a fully broken Jindahad. And down he goes. What does he drop? Heavy piercing pods. Makes sense. And also heavy explosion pods. Neat. Ooh, 3 ticket 3s. Ooh, and I only got blades from the Artian parts. That's nice. Be nice if I got not poison. Wow, they were all poison. Yeah, Wolfkinson, I've seen Jindahad playing Bridge Troll twice, and it's a treat. Because it does a lot of damage to other monsters, and, I mean, it's a Jindahad who's just there. Pretty sure it happened once on stream. But yeah, it's neat. This game's got so many environmental interactions. It's kind of great. Oh, hey, Windward Plains wants to offer me a meal, but my meal from here is still got a long, long time left on it. So I think I will let that Windward Plains meal lapse. But then again, getting the meal in Kunafa does give Defender high. That's probably worth it if we're doing more tempered stuff. Yeah, let's... Well, it's sand tide over there right now, so no one's going to be outside. I'll at least take a look, but... Yeah. They say they're offering a meal, but they're not going to until the sand tide ends. And that's not going to be for 25 minutes. So let's head to base camp and get a new quest posted. Yep, good hunting there, David.
I heard from the others.
I assume you were Zenzara?
Right.
Okay, I think it's time for the many, many weapon decos quest. But also some armor decos. And Dragon works on Guardian Doshagama. And the quest says that the Doshagama is more dangerous, so we'll focus on the Arkveld first. I did not mean to accept and depart. Oh well. Curbsters, stay safe
Order of the guild.
in the path of that cyclone. I hope things do not end up being too bad for you. Heck, I hope they don't end up being bad at all, but that might be a bit much to ask.
There, that's our target.
Oh, that's a curio shell crab.
What do you think we'll find?
Come here, you.
What do you suppose this is? It looks quite old.
I'll never get over the fact that she says, "What do you suppose this is?" every time you get an ancient wyvern coin. I've gotten over 50 of them so far. And she still says, "What do you think this is?" every single time. Again, I need to do sneak attacks, not jump attacks. Sneak attacks are worth so much more. And they get me a play of the game. Oh, he decided that I shouldn't be pinned, actually. Like, he hit me with the thing that pinned me, made me say I'm pinned, but then just slapped me instead of grabbing. Not sure how I ended up on the tail when I hit his wing, but okay. The tail is still quite worth zero-summing.
Over here, bub. I'm your target.
Something I've noticed about this Axe's sword mode, more so than perhaps any other switch axe I've ever used, it's just straight up a greatsword. We'll get a better look at it when this Arkveld's gone. Nice para. Good job, cats.
We'll have to carve it later.
Well, this isn't gonna land. Oh, maybe a little bit. Nice power clash. Nice chain blade break. And them's all the breaks.
Moving to a new area. I'll ride with you.
There's the chain blade shard. Right, just gonna show the thing. But yeah, like just in terms of appearance, this is straight up a greatsword. Most switch axes in sword mode don't look like just it is a greatsword. But this one in sword mode, I'm pretty sure that's an existing greatsword.
Almost there. Be careful.
Nice falling boulder.
Load of these blocks. Let's cleanse that status.
Now for the bear.
What do you think we'll find?
Herbster, switch axe is a fun weapon. I endorse it. Is it the best weapon? No. But it's fun. Don't know who put this wound on this bear, but hey. I'll take a free wound to exploit. So one thing I love about Guardian Doshaguma is its response to getting its wounds attacked. Because its response is pretty much exactly as long as the charge up for my full unleash, which means he is always going to put himself right where I can actually do a full unleash on him. And considering full unleash is my strongest move, yeah, I love that. This bear was made to be switch axed. Admittedly, it works better when he doesn't get flinched again after the flinch from the focus strike.
This This'll freshen you up quick. I'll save this for later then.
I like how there's just a tempered version of the monster that we're meant to be hunting hanging out here.
Power up, activate. This way to the shop track.
Big boy's got to drink his milk.
This'll freshen you up quick.
And nicely done. May the deco drops be ever in your favor. And yeah, the wound system is definitely a lot more balanced in solo play than in multiplayer. I think they need to up the tolerance on just getting free flinches and making the monster hold still during wounds. But something tells me that's going to happen when we get the expansion in Master Rank. That's a lot of decos. Charge up and crit eye, not bad. Focus and fire attack, not bad. Another agitator jewel, love to see it. Hey, Kratos, we doing fine. Still got 10 minutes left of this sand tide. Look at that Ajaricon offering a single decoration. Hey, Wolfkinson, do you have a quest with a guaranteed new Udra gem? I kind of want one. And I feel like it's been long enough since our last New Udra. I'm feeling the New Udra withdrawals.
Got something in mind?
I mean, look at that. I'm one New Udra away, or New Udra gem, away from upgrading my chain charm.
See you later.
Outlander Tales of Symphonia is one of exactly 2 Tales games I have played. So there you go. Meanwhile, I have never played a God of War game. Okay, you don't have any guaranteed New Udra gems. All right. Then we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Of just hunt a monster and hope it drops a gem, instead of hunt a monster and know we're going to get a gem out of it. Though incidentally, if you take long enough on this quest, the fire spring ends. I know this because I've done it before. But the fire spring ends, and shortly after the fire spring ends, all of the new Yayas show up in his house. So you can find a bunch of new Udra babies to grab in your capture net if you take long enough on this quest. Long enough being like 15 minutes.
I heard from the others.
Oh, that's my water axe right there. So I can just swap weapons without needing the tent.
Commencing quest now. Are you prepared?
This quest also has multiple Rathalos on it who occasionally like to hang out being bros. Also, hey, free Rathalos wing break. Thanks, New Udra. You're a real pal. I love this octopus. Love the fight, love the animations, love the noises it makes, love the music. I don't think there's a single thing about this octopus that I dislike, other than that its gear isn't tailor-made specifically for Switch Axe.
Leave this to me. Heels inbound. Pull up your parts later.
Nice arm cut. I also love how after you've knocked it down, the oil drops off it and you can actually see the patterning on it. There's so much to like about this octopus. Best new monster by far. And that's saying something. There's a lot of really good new monsters. All right. That's both rear arms. So I see Wolfkinson attacks from behind. Yeah, Curbster, for me, it is easily this octopus as favorite monster in the game. And as much as I love Knife Octopus, this octopus has it beaten in every way. Yeah, I'm not close enough for that to land. All right. Now he's only got front arms left. Yeah, Spasoya, even in visual design, New Udra is absolutely my favorite monster in the game. I love this octopus. Oh, he went pretty far.
Use this if you need some use.
Admittedly, New Udra wouldn't look nearly as cool if the flame effects on it weren't so good. But Capcom's VFX team knocked it out of the park with this monster. And he is out of hands. Now we just need to get that base.
Another monster's horning in. Almost there.
You did it!
Do not want to get caught reloading.
Power up, activate.
I know sacrets are already kind of overpowered in terms of how they get you from place to place and all that. But there's one buff I would like to see. I would like sacrets to be able to automatically take these elevators when they are significantly faster than just walking. Because when they're such a huge time save, it feels wrong not to take them. Also, wow, my frame rate really dipped there. Not doing the big wake up because want to get the face break. Dang, was hoping I'd be able to get a KO with that, but I guess I missed the eyes.
Shock trap's down and ready for you.
And I guess those shock traps don't leave this thing where its eyes are hittable. You know, I am curious what it will look like if we get this thing in a pit trap.
Right on target.
Well, it puts the eyes right where we need them. Though I feel like an octopus of all things should be immune to a pit trap. There's no reason this thing should be stuck in there. But, hey, that's good information to have. It looks like using a pit trap is basically free face and face breaks on octopi. Also, grats on your gem. Hopefully I get one too. But, knowing the desire sensor, and this being the first thing I have actually expressed a desire for, yep, no gem for me. Yeah, Curbster, that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no reason an octopus monster should at all be affected by a pit trap. Like, even if they get in, they should just slip right on out. The fact that it stayed in for so long when it had all 6 of its arms braced against its walls. Yeah, no way. No way an octopus stays in that. But hey, for gameplay purposes, it's very useful. And now, I need to use the restroom, so I will be right back. And I am back. And no, Curbster, trying to get the perfect photo of Jindahad while it attacks you is not a mistake. The real mistake is that you're probably trying to get it during the actual fight and not when it's playing Bridge Troll. It is very photogenic when it is playing Bridge Troll. You know, I don't have a quest that gives a guaranteed beast gem, so I will take this tempered Doshagama. Though we are not doing it.
Yes.
Did I have a gathering boost there right now? Yes, I do have a gathering boost in Wyveria. Okay, so
Right.
let's see here. Well, we ain't done a tempered gore today. Or a gore of any kind, so I guess it's gore time. One of the hardest hitting things in the game.
Shall we get started?
Well, David, if you can join again, feel free. I see you're already here. And looking at the time, I can probably only do this one last quest today. But I will be back tomorrow for even more questing. Yeah, if you want to see a Jindahad bridge troll, if you see Jindahad mentioned as being on the map, but there's no quest active for it, like you can't create a quest for it, but it's on the map,
Let's have another hunt.
then that means it is waiting on one of the bridges for a large monster to show up so that it can nail them with its ice breath for no reason.
Find something useful.
And apparently this Gormagala is fighting a pair of frenzied cuckoo. And just think, if he hadn't made them frenzied, they wouldn't want to be fighting him to begin with. So really what this Gormagala was fighting was not a pair of frenzied cuckoo, but rather the consequences of his own actions. And this being a Gormagala, if possible, we try to save mounts until the antenna are out. Because we want those broken. And they're not always available to break. But getting a knockdown while they are available to break, as well as doing the mount finisher on them, is a good way to get some damage towards breaking them. Also, I don't think the last hotfix patch was at all responsible for it. But I can say that since the last hotfix patch went live, I have not seen any vertex explosions. I'm gonna look so good on the offset attack play of the game. Right, I should really be at the face instead of the tail, but then again, the tail's gone now. And now to put the 4U strat into play, use Pit Trap while antenna out for easy access. And heck, why constrain it to just a pit? And 4U Switch Axe wishes it had zero sum. Rip. I don't know that it's even possible to get the antenna break during the first frenzy. It'd be pretty interesting if we could actually see a Gormagala turning monsters frenzied in real time in this game. It might be a thing. Maybe if you follow one around long enough, you can see it happen. So yeah, I don't think this franchise does need true roster staples that show up in every single game. Because part of what makes us love monsters is that when they show up, it's always exciting. Like, every time a monster shows up many games in a row, it starts getting a little boring. Like, Zinogre basically never missed a game. And who knows, maybe it'll be back in the expansion for this one. It'll get to keep that record of never missing a game with G rank. But, like, it gets old when it starts being predictable what monsters are going to be in any given game. But if a monster goes away for a game or two and then comes back, it's hype every single time. Curbster, Kezu did not appear in World. It was in Rise and Sunbreak, and it was in For You,
Can't let it go to waste.
and it was in Gen and GU, but it did miss World and Iceborne. But like, Rajang has been in every single game, at least added in expansions, if not in base game. It's been in every single game since Monster Hunter 4. So while I am surprised that they managed to resist putting Rajang in this game, at least so far, I kind of appreciate it. But anyway, that is going to be it for this stream. So thanks, folks, for dropping by to watch and chat and all of that. And I will be back tomorrow for more monster hunting goodness. See you then, friends.